And get started installing your bonus Grow Taller niche blog. Now this particular niche site's going to install basically the old-fashioned way. So if you guys are more experienced, then you probably know how this works. But it installs just a little bit differently. We have to do a little bit more manual. But just stick with me and just do everything I do, and you'll be able to install it in a breeze. Now you will need to be able to log into your hosting cPanel, okay? So why don't you go ahead and do that? Go ahead and log into your cPanel. Now after you downloaded the package, the zip file to your site, you will have a zip file. Okay, let's say Grow Taller blog. What you want to do is extract that. Okay, so usually you just right click, and I happen to use 7-zip, so I choose extract to the Grow Taller blog folder. Okay, so go ahead and get that extracted. So once you have it extracted, you're going to see a file folder. Okay, go inside that, and you're going to have another folder. You're going to go inside that, and then you're going to have banner graphics, user guide, and then you're going to have a folder called WordPress file and SQL. Okay, so this is the folder we're going to be working with. So inside that folder, you're going to have a SQL file. Okay, this is what includes all of your database files. Okay, then you're going to have a zip file which contains all of your WordPress files. Okay, so this is very easy. So I'm just going to take you through it, and we'll get it installed in no time flat. Now for this example, or for this tutorial, I'm going to do one thing at a time. Normally I would be doing 2 or 3 different things at one time, but we're going to do just one thing at a time, and they're no specific order. So what we're going to do now you already, we assume that you have a domain ready for this, or you're going to create a subdomain. Or if you decided that you're just going to put it in some type of subfolder off of your main domain, whatever the case, we assume that you have that ready. Okay, and then for this tutorial, I'm going to be putting this site in a subdirectory or a subfolder of the main domain. And so what we're going to do, let's go ahead and scroll down. Let's just go ahead and create our database. Okay, we need to create a database. So we're going to scroll down. Hopefully you have a cPanel with your hosting provider. If you don't, I recommend that you change hosting providers. That way you can get a cPanel. So we're going to go to MySQL Database Wizard. So the first thing we're going to do is create a database, and we need to give it a name. I'm just going to call it Grow, and I'm going to go to next step. Okay, now we're going to create the database username. You can call it the same if you like. Now we're going to use the password generator to generate a password here. I recommend copying your password down to a notepad. You can copy it here. You will have one more opportunity to copy your username and password in just a minute. But copy that and put it on a notepad. And then once you have that, you can click Create User. Okay, now you're going to get to this point. You want to make sure and copy this information to a notepad like I said. Okay, so after you've copied this information down, we're going to check the box for all privileges and then click Next Step. At this point, we're done creating the database, so we can go back to our home cPanel. Next, what you're going to do is click on your file manager, and when you click this, normally you're going to have an option to select the domain, whatever domain that you added to your hosting account to put this site on. So click on File Manager. And you'll be working in your public HTML folder. Your public HTML folder is the same folder of whatever your main domain is for this hosting account. Now, if you created a subdomain, you're going to see the subdomain folder here. Or if you've created a subfolder, you're going to see it here. Now, for this case, I'm going to put it in a subfolder, so I had to create the folder. So I'm going to click on New Folder. I'm just going to call it Grow. Okay, now we're going to go down and find that folder that we just created. If you have an add-on domain, this will be just like your add-on domain. Okay, our directory is empty. Now we're going to upload the WordPress files. So you want to click on Upload, and it's going to open up in a new tab. Now we're going to click Browse and find the folder, or find the download where we downloaded to our hard drive. We're going to go inside the Grow Taller blog. Go inside that folder. We're going to go inside the WordPress file and SQL, and we're going to upload this zip file called Grow Taller. You'll see it uploading here, and I'll pause the video and come back when it's complete. Okay, so the upload is complete. We're going to click this link to go back. Okay, you should see a zip file. What we need to do is extract this zip file. So we're going to click it to highlight it, and then we're going to go up and click the extract button. And then click extract files, and then click close. Now we're going to reload, clicking on the reload button. Now you will see all of your WordPress files. You can now delete this zip file if you're sure that you have all of your files. But so for right now, go ahead and leave it there until you've got your site up and running. Okay, so what we need to do now is connect our WP config file with the database that we created. So highlight the wp-config.php, right click, and then click and choose edit. And then choose edit again, and it will open up in a new tab. Okay, now we need to come down to the MySQL settings. Okay, it's this information here. What we're going to be doing is putting in the information that we created for our own database. The first one is the database name. So on your notepad, make sure and copy and paste the database name that you created here. It's very important that you don't leave any spaces or anything like that before or after. Okay, our database username. For this case, I named it the same, so I can just paste it here also. Again, making sure there's no spaces. Now I just need to paste in the password that I created. Okay, so the database password, we're going to put this in. What you're doing now, this is just a side note, what you're doing now is what other software like Duplicator, this is what Duplicator would do for you normally. Okay, so make sure there's no spaces or anything like that, and we're going to click on Save Changes. Okay, once that's saved, we can close. Now we're going to go back to our cPanel home. We need to scroll down until you get to PHP My Admin. Click there and it will open up in a new tab. Okay, once that opens up, we're going to find our main database, or the main prefix. So now we're going to check or find the database that we just created. There it is right there. So we're going to click on it, and we will see that there's no tables. Now we're going to go and click on the import button tab at the top. Now we're going to browse and upload the SQL file. Okay, this is the file that we're going to be uploading, the growtaller.sql. Highlight it and click open, and then click go, and just wait for it to upload. Okay, so the import has finished. Now what we're going to do is go back over here and click on the database again. So what will happen is it'll bring up the files, and we're going to click on WP options. Okay, there are some things that we have to change here. So WP options within the database that you made. We need to change the site URL. So we're going to click on edit, and we're going to change this URL to your URL of the domain that you're putting the site on. Okay, so I put in the domain, and next we're going to click on go. Make sure you click on this go and not this one down here. Okay, so we need to make just a couple of more changes. You can change the email later. Okay, so scroll down, and then you're going to click on this little arrow to go to the next page. Now we got to change the home URL. So we're going to click on edit, make the change here, and then click go. While you're here, you might as well set your username and password. So we're going to go back to page number 1. And actually we're going to go over to WP users. So go over to WP users and click there. We're going to click on edit. Okay, here make sure to give your site a username, and then put in your password here. Once you've put in both of those, a username and password, and this is your WP admin dashboard password. This is what you're going to use to log into your WordPress site. Once you put those in, it's very important that where it says user pass, that you click the little arrow and choose MD5. If you don't choose that, it won't work. Okay, and when you get done putting that information in, click go. Okay, at this point you're done with the PHPMyAdmin, so you can close it out. Go ahead and leave this open for right now. Let's go ahead and open up our site. Okay, so here's our site. It's installed. Everything's ready to go. Now you can simply go to your WP admin and log in, and you can start getting the site ready for yourself. But this is how you install the site. Very easy. Now in the next video I'll show you how to get the site set up for yourself. Again, you can come back to this area. Now you can delete the Grow Taller zip. And you can close. Okay, see you in the next video.